From the MRU radio booth, CMRU.ca brings you coast to coast. Here with all your hockey news, here is Landon Brown, Alex Burko, Casey Freeman, Merrick Robinson, and Phil Tremblay.
That intro was good.
We are back in studio once again with you all. Your host, Alex Burko, for Coast to Coast with Casey Freeman. Casey, this is where you talk.
Hi.
There you go. Wait a minute. Casey, which mic are you?
Hi.
There we go. That's better. Look at that. Merrick Robinson.
Hello, hello, hello.
Landon Brown.
Hello, everyone.
And Phil is just setting up the last mic because we've had issues, but Phil will hop on mic pretty quickly here.
Here he comes. Oh, there he is.
So on the docket today, we have a couple trades to discuss, both from WHL and the NHL. I also want to talk a little bit about the Rangers goaltending, as that was a bit of a topic last night into this morning in the group chat. But first, the Calgary Flames lost to a team that was dressing about $13 million in cap.
That's not even the league minimum. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a bit of a disappointing game for sure.
Did you watch it?
The Chicago one?
Yeah, I was at work, so I didn't get to see it.
I watched a bit of it. I was a little bit distracted by some other things, but I had it like on in the background. I just like when you have a Chicago team that does not have Bedard, like
Or any
it's
of their
just what is happening.
Seth Jones was out too.
all of their NHL players that they got to play with Bedard also.
You know what I think
They're
it
just
was?
not there.
I think it was when they viewed all the game tape and stuff. They kind of focused a lot on Bedard, and then now that Bedard's out of the picture, all of their video, like
They just have no idea what to do.
yeah, they have no idea what anyone does at all.
Not that the Flames had much idea what to do in general.
absolutely
but
I also think the Blackhawks had like in total more more money on the IR in the injury reserve than the active roster in that game.
That sounds about right.
yeah.
It is kind of fun, though, because you get to see all the guys in their, like, the depth of their roster. You get to see them make their NHL debuts. It's kind of fun.
The people you forget about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that team is mostly players you forget about.
Yeah.
But some of them, they're coming from the AHL, get to make their,
That is true.
their
That
debuts
is
or
true.
their second chances, and they get to go play in the NHL. It's fun for them.
Well, I don't mind watching Jason Dickinson. He's been
Yes.
very good. And then they have one other rookie on that team. I can't remember his name. He did the rookie lap with
Kevin
Bedard.
Korchinski.
Yeah,
defenseman?
he's been good to watch as well. They'll be good in a few years.
Calgary started out with a good January. Before that game, now they're 2-2-0 on that 4-game road trip after the New Year's Eve game in which they beat Philly. They lost to Minnesota. I would say they beat Minnesota 3-1, beat Nashville 6-3, lost to Philly 3-2, and then lost to Chicago 4-3 on the second half of a back-to-back with travel. That shouldn't matter because they're Chicago.
Yeah. Again, like we said before Christmas that we needed to pretty much win out in January. We said we could only afford to lose like 2 or 3 of the games. We've lost 2 already, and we're in the second week of January.
Don't you have like Vegas or something coming up? Too?
We have Vegas coming up. We have Edmonton coming up. We have Toronto coming up.
Toronto.
Yeah, all of those. So
And Arizona.
There's a game tonight that Landon and myself are going to. Flames and Sens for Pride Night.
Yeah.
Super stoked on that.
Oh, I didn't know it was Pride Night. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
Pride Night.
That would be cool.
Then they're on the road for 2 games. They're in Arizona on the 11th, and they're in Vegas on the 13th. Then it's a 2-day rest before they have a 6-game homestand against Arizona, Toronto, Edmonton, St. Louis, Columbus, and Chicago again.
It sounds like it should be friendly, but we'll see.
Bedard probably won't be in that game either.
Oh, Bedard's going to be out for a hot minute.
Yeah, I think
Bedard's
he's
out
out
4 to 6
yeah,
weeks,
so he's not going to be in that game either. So please win.
And I think 4 to 6, I think that's ambitious. Like, he's got a broken jaw.
Yeah, they're gonna probably.
And have they released any X-rays?
No, I think they're gonna try to want to get him to the All-Star break. I think they're gonna want to put him there.
When is that?
Is it beginning of February?
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah,
it
something like
is.
The last game before the All-Star game for Calgary is that Chicago game.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I don't know. He's also young. I don't know. Like
yeah. And if it's just like a fracture, he might for the All-Star game he might throw on a bubble
Yeah,
and come
throw
out
on the bubble.
skate around.
I mean, he is
Bubble
a
is-
literal child.
Bubble is good luck.
But if
too,
he did
so.
like
Yeah,
if he
that's true.
snapped his jaw, then
Yeah,
obviously that's different. but-
Bubble Bedard is prime Bedard.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
if he if he didn't want to use the bubble, if he wanted to keep using his visor, which I mean, he used the bubble in the World Juniors, so it's not that much of a stretch for him to use it again. There is that little attachment you can put on your helmet that just kind of guards your jaw.
Yeah, it looks like
That's what
like
Marner.
a feed
That's what
bag
Marner
for
wore.
a
didn't he?
horse.
Yeah,
Marner
and he
wore
did
it.
so well with it.
He got a hat trick. or
I'm
something like
forgetting
that.
a Flame that wore it as well at some point.
Chara
too.
wore it.
Chara wore it.
Yeah.
Ludicrous. But there is that option as well, so I'd believe it if it was 4 or 6 weeks, like if his jaw's still hurting but he can still skate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Because with the All-Star, like, they're not, despite everyone's wishes, they're not going all out, right?
Yeah,
Because
well-
there's no point. They don't need to. And that's what makes the All-Star game so annoying.
Even
but
for him, he wouldn't even have to play in the game. He could just go in the skills comp, do something cool, and
Yeah.
That's
just,
true.
Just hang
And,
out.
Yeah,
like,
I wonder if
and
they
the
allow
All Star's a lot
that.
bigger and like it looks more better this year. So like a lot of people are gonna want to see him there,
yeah,
at least
Yeah.
for the skills part.
I
he's
want
the
to.
guy.
Yeah.
It's all in the marketing.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we'll see. He'll drink his milk and eat his veggies, and he'll be good to go.
Yeah, because he's so called never had junk food in his life.
Sip on his
Yeah,
veggies.
Yeah, he
That's
never had
nice.
McDonald's at all.
No,
Sure.
no
oh yeah,
chance.
sip
So-
on his veggie smoothies. Yeah.
So we should probably move. Oh, I forgot to mention off the top. This is our first hour and a half show. We're going to be running 8 to 9:30.
Did we do introductions as well?
I was going to do that after the first break, just so we have a bit more time. Unless you
Okay.
want to do it now.
We can do it now.
Sure. So we have 2 other co-hosts coming on here. Merrick Robinson has been on the show a couple times, and Casey Freeman has not yet. For those of you that have listened before, you can pretty much get Merrick's feel. He's a big Pens guy.
As you can tell by the cameras.
Yeah, if you're watching, he's wearing the Pittsburgh Penguins third, the yellow
from
stadium
from a
series.
few years ago.
Yeah.
Dude, $40. This is on clearance and 30% off. Like
That's a
holy-
steal,
wow.
actually.
I'm sending this off
Yeah,
today
that's
to get it to put Malkin on the back. I'm pretty excited.
That's pretty sweet.
And also welcoming on Casey Freeman. I pegged you more as a casual fan, eh, Casey?
There's a few. I like Dallas is my number one.
And
Then
Duchesne.
yes, and Matt Duchesne. So Nashville's up there too. And
yeah.
I love.
You're
the
more a
Canucks,
fan
so-
of specific players, not so much teams. eh?
I would think Dallas. I look at them and I'm like, I love that whole team. And
Okay.
Nashville's kind of still there, but I'm kind of mad at them still. But
Due to recent transgressions involving a certain player.
yes,
Well, that's sweet. We got a pretty good spread here.
Yeah.
We got a pretty good spread.
I'm honestly really excited to have Casey on more often because aside from her, we're all like fairly hardcore fans.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to get like
my different aspects.
exactly.
We also keep in mind you're a Flyers fan, Landon's a Rangers fan,
You're a Pens fan.
and like
I'm the only hometown fan here.
you're the only one.
Come on,
You're the only one
guys.
that doesn't have any, you don't have any bad blood in this this group.
No.
That's true. At
Not
least we
yet.
don't have any Edmonton fans like Carter.
What a loser.
What a loser.
So before we leave the Calgary Flames talk,
Yeah, I think there's more to talk about at the Flames like we have.
there is, but I also, before we move off of that, or do you want to talk more about them is what you're saying?
Yeah, let's talk. We can talk more about them.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
we got lots of time for Flames. We got an hour and a half, baby.
So before we move on to anything kind of specifically during the Chicago Blackhawks game, wherever you want to go, Casey, have you watched you've watched a couple of the episodes online, yes?
Yes.
So you're aware that we do weekly predictions.
Okay.
And we're really bad at
We're
them.
really bad at it.
I don't
Not
think we've
good.
ever nailed it. I don't think so.
I think I got close
I think you got the numbers right. but the
before
games wrong.
December. Oh, yeah, I always get the games wrong. But, hey, as long as you get the numbers right.
So before we're
I think
back
they're gonna go
with
5-1,
you,
but they go 1-5. That's numbers are right, but not in the right situation.
before we're back with you next Tuesday on the 16th when Arizona is in town, Calgary plays 3 times tonight against Ottawa, as I previously said, and then they're in Arizona on the 11th, and then they're in Vegas on the 13th. On this 3-game stretch, where do we think they're going to be?
I think they go 0-3.
Really?
I
Holy.
well, because Ottawa's a very like grind team, and I think they're gonna. It'll be a really good game. Arizona's played for some reason very good this
they have.
season, and I don't see them beating Vegas. I could be very wrong.
We beat Vegas, though.
True. Well, we've beaten Boston, but look where we are.
Yeah, that's true. I really hope we don't go 0-3. If we go
I don't-
0-3
I-
this week,
yeah.
we're done. The
I
season's
hope you.
over.
I hope you don't. But this is my guess.
I'm gonna go 2-0-1. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
gonna
you're bringing
go.
the-
I was gonna go 2-1-0.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, Alex. I think 2-1-0. I don't know which games though, because that's the thing with the Calgary Flames. We're so fluky, especially when we're playing teams like Vegas. Like
Well, Ottawa's also a weird team in itself. right?
Ottawa is a weird team too. Arizona's the weirdest of all
Oh,
teams.
100%.
I mean, just look at that logo. But but like the
dare
thing
you,
is,
the
like you look
best.
at the Vegas games earlier in the season, we had no business even being close in those games, and somehow like we took wins. Like I think we beat Vegas twice this season.
Yeah, I think the one was like a
in-
7-goal game, wasn't
In
it?
December,
Something like that. Yeah.
In December, it was a 5-4 loss in OT.
Okay, close.
Still a point though.
November, we beat them 2-1 in overtime. I think that was the Mackenzie Weegar.
That was the Uyghur goal. That was the coast to coast Uyghur goal.
Uyghur goal.
Oh, he said the thing. He said the thing.
He said the thing.
And that was it. So yeah, on the season we are 1-0-1 against Vegas, but I believe never mind. The 5-4 loss we were in Vegas for as well.
Yeah. So you never know. Obviously, we're basically 50% against Vegas.
Yeah,
That's a toss up.
We can either beat Vegas 2-1 in overtime, or we can lose. What was that?
15-0.
Yeah, or we can lose to the Blackhawks. We don't know which team is.
Yeah, yeah. Bedardless Blackhawks
Yeah, not
too.
even the Blackhawks. It's more like the Rockford Ice Hogs. I was thinking. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
say
say 2-1-0 still.
I'm gonna also say 2-1-0, maybe 2-0-1.
I'm gonna say win-win regulation loss.
Casey.
I think they can win tonight, but I don't think Arizona's hard, but I don't think they can beat Vegas. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's fair, I think.
Yeah, I'd see that.
I think the unfortunate part, and that's the issue with the Calgary Flames right now. The unfortunate part is if we go anything but 3-0, the season's over. Like
I would say it's over.
I
You really think so?
I'm pretty sure.
I
And
know-
this is coming from the Flames fan in the
Yeah,
room.
this is-
I wanna- yeah.
Because
The only one.
but we talked about this in January or in December. We needed to win most of the games in January, and right now we've already lost 2. If we lose 2 more, we're falling even farther away from that wild card spot, which right now we are 2 points behind on the Oilers and 6 points behind.
Why is the Western
Nashville.
wildcard so much?
Tighter?
It's crazy.
I think
There's
the
no
Eastern
fight
one's
for the
way.
top. But
Eastern's way tighter than the.
The
Western
Edmonton
wildcard.
Oilers have also played 4 less games than we have.
Yeah,
It's
we're-
about the
and
same level.
How many
Like,
have you played? You've played 40.
40
games.
games. Oilers have played 36. Everyone ahead of us except the Nashville Predators have played less games than us.
Yikes.
That's what to me makes the 2 games against Arizona crucial.
What's your?
The
plus
Arizona
minus?
game is for sure crucial.
You guys are
both of them.
minus 10.
Yeah.
There's the game in Arizona this coming week, and then there's the game where Arizona's here next week.
So we need
If
to
you
win
do
both
not
those
win
games.
those games, you're done.
Yeah.
Full
It could
stop.
be like the Islanders too, who have technically 21 losses but are third in their division.
And then we tank for Macklin.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk about that too. We didn't. Did we talk about that last time?
what?
A little bit, I
The
believe.
World Juniors?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
on the
Like
one of the
online
Zoom shows, yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, okay.
Which may or may not be uploaded because
We've been busy.
Hey, break time. Break time. Break
well,
time.
there's that, but it's also just not the same quality.
Hey, break-
yeah.
Everyone needs that break time too.
Yeah, it's a little rough. Oh well. Yeah, that's. I love being ambitious. I love having faith in my Calgary Flames. We need to have a really good January, or else it's gonna
You
be.
also got to keep in mind though, like the whole. Remember the Blues? They were last in their division in 2019. They ended up winning it all.
That's true.
You just got to get hot when it matters.
If they are not in 3rd or 4th in the wild card race by the All-Star break, they're done.
Yeah,
I think that's the line.
I'd say even better. They have to be even better than that, especially with the games in hand that these teams have.
Also true.
Like the games in hand are really screwing us right now. Because even the LA Kings, who are 3rd in the Pacific as well, they have 4 less games. How are we playing so many games? I don't understand it. Anyway,
Scheduling's weird. Like at
It
least
is
for
weird.
in the month of March, Pittsburgh plays 16 games in 31 days. Like it's ridiculous.
That's insane.
The
Yeah.
longest break they have is 2 days.
My friend also pointed out on the Flame schedule is that they get all the teams that are traveling to Alberta first, and then
Yeah.
on the
And then
back-to-back,
everything
Edmonton
dunks on
gets
them the next
Like,
day.
Yeah.
It's just the weirdest like scheduling because like, I'm looking at I just look at the Penguin schedule obviously, right? But it's just like, do you get a break? Like, hello, what is? Like you have like 8 games in February, and then you just go, yeah, you don't get a rest in March.
I feel
So-
like Dallas has had such a like easy schedule. They have like in the first week of the season they had a game, then 5 days off. Like I don't know, I don't understand, but
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the problem though, because if you get every game like early games off, then like April and March just become
Yeah.
like
Brutal.
let's you guys are gonna be living with each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the wives, the girlfriends, the families. You ain't seen them for a month.
Yeah.
So 3 teams have played 41 games, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 teams have played 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the
Ottawa's
teams that are
played-
less than
Ottawa's
40
played
are beating
35
us. So
games.
Ottawa's played 35. Yeah, just looking at them.
that's not a lot of games.
No, it
No,
is
but they
not.
also have 28 points.
They also went to Sweden, so they like lost some.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
What about-
that's
what about-
true.
how many games have the Leafs?
37.
Eh,
Minnesota's
Alex
played
on it.
39,
fair.
and they're also over there. They
Minnesota's makes me so nervous to watch because they keep doing really well.
They can't afford
they
to
keep
do
they
well.
keep succeeding.
I know, and it's
Kaprizov
it's
just-
nerve wracking.
Just stay on the IR for the rest of the season, and it'll be okay.
One last thing with the Calgary Flames before we kind of move on here. It's another one of those coast to coast. Someone's listening and someone's making people play good because Huberdeau seems to be doing okay again.
There we go.
I'm not going to put any money on him. I dropped him in fantasy last night because I needed a defenseman, and he was my lowest scoring player. But looking at his last 5 games, he's looking all right. He's got already, I think, like 6 more points than he did the entirety of December, which is great when you're paying him $7 million a year. $10 million a year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10
He makes
five.
a-
I don't know.
he-
I always
he
say
makes
that.
him
I
no
always
less.
say 7, but
7 rounds to
you know,
10 is
7,
fine.
3.
It's a potato.
What's
That's
$3
fine.
million?
Oh, yeah.
For
He
the
got
longest
2
time,
assists
yeah.
in the Chicago game. He scored against Philly. Nothing in Nashville. So back to his
I
old
thought he
ways.
scored in the Blackhawks game.
Five.
Yeah,
He has 2 assists.
Oh,
two
my.
assists.
Yeah,
and
he
then
is-
scored against Minnesota.
I
and
always found it
assist
funny
against
too. I
Philly.
can make the joke with Jari's going like, well, Jari had more goals in the month of December.
He
than-
did.
than Canada did. It's just like,
Which is really, really tough. But anyway, hopefully that keeps going. Maybe I'll pick him back up.
No, you won't.
No,
No,
I
you
won't. Someone's
Don't.
going to take him.
So
I don't want you to do that to yourself.
yeah.
worth mentioning, or worth pointing out specifically, Phil kind of danced around it a little bit. Since the New Year's Eve game against Philly, Huberdeau has averaged a point a game.
yeah.
That's not like.
I mean, that's
that
not.
compare-
that's
in
not-
2024,
that's-
those are great numbers.
That's not 10-5 money.
We're 9 days in.
But I also know like he's struggled the past little bit here, so it's growth, it's baby steps.
Hey, something's
okay with
better
that.
than nothing.
it's great in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather take this over conversation that he's going to get scratched.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's just,
Yes, that talk is no longer
Just-
there. He's no
Yeah.
longer going to have 0 minutes in a third
Yeah.
period of a tie game. So that's great. I
I-
love that.
I just hate looking up like who makes more money? Eric Carlson, William Nylander, Matthews, McDavid. It's like,
That's it.
Hmm.
Pretty much.
what do these have in common? What do Huberdeau and McDavid have in common?
Not
They
much.
make this about the same
They
money.
are
That's
both
about
Canadian.
And they're both Canadian,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, something else for the Flames talk.
Yeah.
Didn't
Let's do it.
Blake Coleman celebrated his 500th game?
He
Didn't he do
did.
really well in that game? I'm pretty sure too.
Honestly, I love Blake Coleman. I think he's a great
he's
part of
very
this team.
Beautiful.
He
I
is
comment on
beautiful.
their Instagram every day.
I saw that comment. I was like,
What'd
and
you
then
comment?
I'm in the 17th day of doing it. Whenever they post a picture of Blake Coleman, I put like day 36 of crying over how beautiful Blake Coleman is.
Has he played all games? Okay, I was gonna say there's no way he's played all games for the Flames.
I
He
don't know,
has-
How old is he?
he
He
is
is
32.
32. He's won a cup.
In this last 5 games,
Two
same
cups.
period as
Okay.
Huberdeau, he has the same amount of points. He deserves more money. I don't know how much.
Plus, he's the
He's
top.
making-
Don't think he
penalty
deserves
killer.
10 million though.
No. Well,
Like
yeah.
on the pen, isn't he leading in shorthanded goals too?
He could.
He has 2 cups.
He's
He
also
played with
from
Tampa those
Texas.
2 years.
Yeah, he's from Texas. He's
Yeah.
a fellow
I was
Texan.
gonna-
Let's
I was
go.
gonna-
He
gonna mention
hosted he hosted the Flames on
Thanksgiving.
American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love him. I remember. Actually, I don't quite remember how he ended up in
How he
Calgary.
got
I think he was
here.
just a free agent. I think
Yeah,
he
Yeah,
he
Was
was
he just a
signed.
free
He
agent?
left. He won 2 cups in Tampa.
He
Then
wanted to be here.
He signed in
left when it was
2021.
appropriate.
And then he decided, you know what? I'm done with that warm weather. Bring me to
Yeah,
Calgary.
yeah.
So he
And I'm pretty stoked with
He's
how
got
he's
flame
playing.
on his jersey.
He's
warm
got
enough.
30 points in 40 games this season. And I remember as soon as he came to the team, I remember specifically being excited about him, like him putting up points and being a really good member of the team. So that's pretty exciting. Thank you for bringing that
No,
up,
I
Casey. That was a good little thing.
He seems to do really well, especially when I'm at the games cheering for the other teams. But
He's tied with Kadri right now, leading the team in points.
nice.
So that's good.
For those of you curious on how he got to Calgary, he was first in New Jersey, and then he got traded to Tampa in 2020.
Did he get traded or did he leave?
He got traded.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he got traded to Tampa in 2020, sorry. And then was signed by Calgary in 2021.
Yeah. No, yeah, that makes sense. I like it. I like him. He's great. That's about all I got to say about that one. Sharon Govich continues to impress me, even though the amount of things I didn't know about him when we started this show.
Man, that's probably the worst take you've had on
That
the
was
show so
probably,
far.
yes, I will admit to that. That was the worst take I've had on this show, was like, who is Yegor Sharangovich? And now he's third on the team.
He's third in scoring on the team.
and-
Tied for
but-
third.
And like from actually what, I mean, I guess it just proved that I needed to pay better attention to hockey games.
I remember we were watching a game on TV once, and I texted the group chat that Yegor Sharangovich is obviously rushing because he's got no finish because he missed 2 open nets, and then he immediately scored 2 goals after that. And I had to get roasted in the
Yeah.
chat for that one.
He just likes to prove people wrong, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, specifically me and Landon. But the more I pay attention to him, the more he impresses me. So I'm pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, he's very fun to watch.
Again, like it's just a weird Calgary Flames team. Like we have the heart, we have good players, we just don't.
just don't.
We just don't. We just don't feel like winning games unless they're in the last few months of the season when we're already mathematically eliminated from playoffs.
They'll figure it out.
Hopefully, they better.
So I'm reading the Flames put up their 5 things to know article on their website here.
Yep.
And I'm giving it a little bit of a look over. The Senators are coming off of a 3-1 loss to the Oilers on Saturday and have now lost the first 3 games of their current 5-game road trip. The Sens are now 3-6-0 since Jacques Martin took over as head coach on December 18th.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just like kind of scar tissue in my
3-1
brain or something.
3-1-0.
3-6-0.
I thought they had. Oh, right. It's a win. Never mind. They beat
What?
Pittsburgh in overtime. That counts as a win. My
Yeah.
fault.
It does count as a win because they won.
Hey, Alex, what was the score? Alex, what was the score last night? Thank you very much.
They,
Just wanted to hold that. Thank you.
yeah, they just kind of keep tripping over themselves
Yeah, I don't-
in Ottawa.
I
They
don't
can't
know
quite
if
get
it's
going.
scar tissue, but I'm scared that that Senators are going to come out with cannons and just blow the doors off of the dome today.
Yeah, the thing is, the Calgary Flames have a habit of being a team that breaks road trip slumps. Like people go on
Yeah.
rough road trips and then they come to Calgary and then
Yeah.
they win
Ottawa's
and then they go on a run.
Ottawa's 4-11 on the road.
We
in
make a
the
great
season.
slump buster.
We are the slump buster, and I hate being the slump buster.
Actually, ironically, I think at the beginning of the season when Pittsburgh was on one of their 5-game losing streak, it snapped against Calgary. Like ironically, we won 4-0.
Every game, the commentators seem to say something about a 4-game losing streak for the opponents.
Yeah.
And then they win.
Yeah. Also, a couple milestones within reach here, apparently. Ange Mangiapane is sitting at 199 career points, and Nazem Kadri is 2 points away from 600 on his career.
Wow.
So with any luck, tonight might be the night for both of those guys.
That'd be sweet. That would be sweet.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be-
that's basically everything that I kind of wanted to pull out of this article real quick.
Yeah. Sweet.
Who's in net tonight for the Flames?
Hasn't been announced.
Okay.
I would imagine it would be Markstrom.
Yeah.
Because Vladar got the start in Chicago, so I would think that they're going to go back to Markstrom tonight against Ottawa.
Okay.
Is my bet.
We'll have to wait and see.
We will.
Let's pull up an AHL goalie at that point.
But
yeah, honestly,
Wolf. We
Yeah.
spent 25
That's true.
minutes on the Flames. How about we talk a little bit about the Hitmen, Phil Tremblay?
we can do that.
You sound deflated, Phil. Why are you deflated?
It's been a wild few, or not few days, few hours, 12 hours, whatever the timeline's been.
16 hours.
We have a lot of games to talk about, and I'm not going to talk about any of them
Because there's bigger news.
because there's bigger news. And Landon and Alex will know that we've talked about the Hitmen's second top point scorer
Former.
of the season. He's been traded away. And that is Sean Shigell. Very conflicting emotions going on for me personally. Obviously, I would love to talk analytics and stuff, but just like from an emotional standpoint, it sucks. Sean Shigell has been with the Calgary Hitmen his entire WHL career. He's been with the Hitmen this was his 5th season. He's also my girlfriend's family's billet and has been their billet for the entire time, if not save like a year or two. We knew this was coming. We didn't know what team it was going to be, but we knew, like, him and his camp, his billet parents, his billet sister, obviously we knew it was coming. We didn't know when. It came yesterday, and he is going to the Lethbridge Hurricanes. So he's only a few hours down the road. So we'll still see him a lot. He got traded for a 2nd-round pick in 2025 and a 3rd-round pick in 2025. The Lethbridge Hurricanes needed another 20-year-old. And I don't hate this move as a Sean Shigell fan. As a Hitman fan, I'm losing it because I think this, like losing another 20-year-old like this, like another one of our top players, almost kind of says we're not going for playoffs this year, but that's okay. But yeah, Lethbridge is looking good, and this is a guy who's looking for an AHL or NHL contract next year. So he needs to be somewhere where he has a team behind him and where he can actually make a deep run in the playoffs. And Lethbridge is looking like they're going to be able to do that. I'm just looking at their team right now. Luke Cousins, now Sean Shigell, obviously. They've got a couple other notables. They're known for making great goalies. So I'm sad. Everyone's sad. But at the end of the day, Sean's got to do what's going to, get him that NHL player's contract. And we're not mad at the move. I'm not angry. Just
Hurt.
a little sad. Like we saw that the Hitmen posted a wonderful video yesterday and it started with a young Sean Shigell putting his first Hitman jersey on.
Aw.
And I'm not an emotional guy by any means, but I was like, ah. But it's been a pleasure getting to meet Sean over the past couple of years. I had Christmas because they just got back from their huge road trip. They hadn't been around for a couple weeks because they were out for Christmas, and then they did a whole BC road trip, which went okay. So we had Christmas dinner with my girlfriend's family and Ben Kindle and Sean Shigell. And it was nice to see him. It was good to see him one more time before, because, again, we knew he was probably going to be gone this week. But, yeah, emotional. That being said, my girlfriend's family still has Mr. Ben Kindle, and we've talked about him quite a bit on the show. He is another very exciting prospect for the Calgary Hitmen that will be fun to watch. He's going to... And I'm putting this out there right now. He's kind of be the leader going into the next 4 years. We have tons of draft picks in the next 2 years. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting 4 years for the Calgary Hitmen. I'm a little sad. I'm rambling now. And we've got a game on Friday that's at noon for some reason that I can't go to because we have class. And I don't know why it's at noon. So I'm just generally kind of bummed, Alex. Let's talk about something else.
All right, I can segment this one is well, we can head towards the New York Rangers. The goaltending story, as obviously as a Penguins fan, I am not the biggest fan of Igor Shesterkin. And looking at the stats, it's really obvious that it feels like Jonathan Quick is the better goaltender
Feels
because
like you're just piling on here.
Fight.
25 like Igor's played 25 games. He has 16 wins and 9 losses with a 9.4 save percentage and a 2.85 goals goals against allowed. And average, sorry, my apologies. And Jonathan Quick has 14 games played, 9 wins, 2 losses, 2.44 goals against average, and a 9.15 save percentage.
I did not track any of that.
And I believe, and Jonathan Quick has 2 shutouts.
Shesterkin's also had an injury this year.
That's such a tough goalie pairing to like balance, because they're both.
You have an old guy,
I
you have an old
think
guy and a young guy.
Honestly, I think Quick has done, like he's done really well, but I think it's also helped him a lot that he's only played 14 of those games.
True.
If he was like the full-time starter and like the gameplay was switched, like the numbers might not look the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Quick has 4 penalty minutes, and Igor has 2.
What?
I just found that. It's a funny stat.
Yeah, they're
I
tough.
can't
they're
remember
tough
the-
dudes.
I can't remember the last time I saw a goalie penalty.
But what I find kind of jarring is I know that Igor's played almost
Tristan
10 more
jarring?
games. Quick has 33 goals allowed, and Igor has 70. So, like, I get that he's played less,
Yeah, like last night was tough. That was a tough
but
game
that's
for
a
him.
brutal, like,
5 goals were pretty
yeah.
quick.
Uh,
Oh,
I don't know.
Shut up.
Again, it's just tough to balance because you have Shesterkin, who's obviously generally pretty good, and then you have Quick,
He's
who's
amazing.
one of the greatest goaltenders of the past decade.
Yeah.
So it's a very tough
Igor's
pairing.
Always, like, just from what I've seen, Igor plays very well, and then for some reason in playoffs, he always ends up like he's not used to stress or pressure, and it just always gets to him, it seems, because then he goes on a slump of some sort.
well, the workload's different too.
True.
So,
Well, just over the past few seasons, what I've seen, even in his Vezina season, he had a very bad kind of slump start.
when you guys were talking about who was better between Quick and Shesterkin, was it from a kind of more complaining about the tandem stance, or
I love the tandem. I don't think there's anything
No,
wrong.
nothing's
with
wrong.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's a great.
No,
team.
it's a great. I was more of the fact that I know that Quick has played less games, but it's the fact that Quick is getting them more wins and better, and doing the job better than Igor is.
'cause I was going to mention that the league average for save percentage across the league right now is pretty much 903.
Yeah, so like Igor is an average goaltender.
So they're both
That
above.
feels so good to say.
Goals against average is the same. Goals against average across the league is 2.95.
Yeah.
Again, the worst goalie is Igor, but he's also played more, and he's also worse by 0.41.
Yeah.
And he had the game against Vancouver last night.
That-
Vancouver is an insane team.
Now that I pulled this up, I'm curious about Calgary's goaltending.
Yeah, because I look at other goaltenders around the league and I'm like, I bet you like most of the teams would kill for that goaltending tandem.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, like-
Yeah.
I also find it
Carolina,
funny.
Toronto, just
Yeah.
any of them.
Edmonton.
I love how you just look at the goaltenders and be like, oh, Andre Saros, who's the best goalie? Aiden Hill.
Yeah, of course. I called it. I said it.
Statistically, is the best goalie.
Look at my prediction from the beginning of the season. Who did I say was going to win the Vezina?
Is he still
Aiden Hill.
out?
Yeah, I also this summer I met Logan Thompson and I already knew who I already met Aiden Hill before, but
Oh, flex.
so I met Logan Thompson, got to see the Stanley Cup.
I got to meet Shea Theodore and see the Stanley Cup.
That's pretty cool.
My
too.
biggest thing was just like Rod Brindamore kiss this. Cool. That's what I took away from that day.
Where? I want to know.
yeah.
Can I start just like a fun conversation?
Can I just throw in that Markstrom is above league average in both goals against
Let's
and
go.
save percentage?
Yes, absolutely. You can throw that in.
And Vladar is considerably worse.
Yeah, of course. How's Wolf?
Probably bad.
That's not
That's
here.
true. Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna be bad.
I mean, he
based off
probably hasn't played enough games to
3,
be. Played 13 or more games. I don't think Wolf played 13 games for sure.
He absolutely did not.
You guys were talking about the Stanley Cup. Just fun little conversations. We stopped the analytics for a second here because I need some cheering up. You win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you eat or drink out of it?
Poutine.
Yes.
I don't know, probably like spaghetti or something.
Spaghetti.
I feel like
Whoa.
some spaghetti out of that would be fun.
Honestly, I probably just drink. Get like nice iced tea. Just
An
right in-
iced tea.
yeah,
I like that. I like that. Alex?
before the alcohol.
What is the first thing I'm eating or
That's a good
drinking out of
question.
it?
Or do both. First thing you're eating, first thing you're drinking.
First thing I'm drinking is obviously Coke because I don't drink.
Right? Fair.
Uh,
Okay, if you won the Stanley Cup, you would have a beverage.
Mm-mm.
Really?
Really?
Damn, that's commitment.
Yeah.
I do a cigar.
A Slurpee?
I do a cigar.
Slurpee and
Slurpee.
That would
Maybe.
be good.
Didn't- be
Didn't
cool.
Cale McCarr do that?
I feel like
I think he did. I think like his day with the cup happened to be on like bring your own
Oh,
cup
yeah.
day at 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah.
He brought the Stanley Cup to a 7-Eleven and filled it with Slurpee. I love that.
Yeah, that's,
was great.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
Food would either be one of the meals from Hula in South Center because that's big fan of their
Nice.
poke bowls, or
Ooh, a poke bowl.
a poke bowl.
That would be
Would be
sweet.
sick, or some carbonara.
I get a.
There you
You
go.
can do a chocolate fondue. I think that'd be really cool.
I was like,
Just
That-
like a
that would
fruit
be
strawberries
salad
in it.
chocolate. That'd be sweet.
Just pick the worst thing. You know what? Just put caramel in there.
Exactly.
Just make it super hard for it to clean.
Or a
Yeah, they'll
cheese
never get it
fondue.
out.
I could do a cheese fondue. Now I was gonna say poutine too, but
Now
man,
I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, now
Poutine
I'm
was my
hungry,
first
too.
answer, but after both you said it, I thought, yeah, that's
Yeah, Alex, I'm with you on that. I was
Yeah.
like, well, there goes my idea.
Yeah, I mean poutine was good.
Spaghetti's good. I like that one.
yeah. I like
Well,
it.
that was funny.
Okay,
That caught me off guard.
Off spaghetti, what kind of noodles are you getting with that spaghetti though?
Spaghetti is the noodle.
fettuccine.
Yeah,
See, everyone's got their different.
there is
thing.
spaghettini
Oh.
too.
Yeah. Come on,
But
Landon.
now I'm thinking a cheese fondue.
Stop saying cheese. Now I'm hungry.
And then for drinks, I would probably go with champagne.
Oh,
it would have
yeah,
to
I
be
mean,
champagne.
Yeah.
I just want to do iced tea just to chug it, and then I'll just do the alcoholic beverage after. 'Cause I think that'd be
Yeah.
so cool.
That would be funny.
What'd you drink of the Stanley Cup? I drank iced tea.
I think it'd be a good challenge too to go for like the full jug of milk and try and get
Oh.
that out.
Oh my god.
Wait, not white. I can do white milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah.
White milk.
milk. Kind of on the milk topic.
is
It's
hockey
not
show.
it's
Running,
not
eh?
hockey related at all. But did you know, for the Indy 500, like
Yes.
switching to car racing, for the Indy 500, before the race, because the winner gets a bunch of milk,
Yeah.
a jug of milk. The winner, every racer before the race puts in their choice of milk, and you can pick chocolate and you can pick strawberry.
Is it like? Do they get it from a sponsorship? Is that why they get so much
yeah,
milk?
Is it
Yeah.
from a different? Is it from like a specific manufacturer?
I don't know the manufacturer. I would assume so.
Probably
Yeah.
just an Indiana
But like you
one.
can pick like
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
milk,
so-
skim milk, 2%, whatever you want. And
Fair enough.
I just thought that was really
That
funny.
is actually quite funny.
Just strawberry milk just doesn't make
Yeah, I
sense
know.
to me.
I don't think I've ever had strawberry milk. I've had Oreo milk, and that's not bad.
Oreo milk's all right.
I don't think I've ever had strawberry.
Hockey.
I have
what
a
else is there
segment
to
for
talk
the
about?
I was go for
for
it.
the Flyers one. We did win 4-1. I just would love to say that because we finally beat the Flyers this year.
At least one Philadelphia team can get a. Oh no, both of them lost.
that felt really good after that. But I think the thing that stole not really the Thunder, but kind of
Can
took
I-
over news headlines was the Cutter.
Can I
Oh,
interject
great.
something real quick before you dive
Yeah, go
too
for
deep
it.
into that? Yeah, how is fourth in the wild card race?
It's good because
Is
we're
it better or worse than first? I'm curious.
we're only 2 points behind you. So
I
you're,
don't.
re-
I
you're
do
not.
not care. I
you're not-
do not care.
and we have
Answer the question.
We have a game in hand. You've beat us twice in overtime, and you have 4 points, and we also have 4 points because we've got to overtime
I'm
twice.
sorry, I stopped listening after you beat us.
How does Malkin's quote feel this morning, huh? How's it feel? When was the last time you won a cup?
The Cutter Gauthier trade.
When was the last time you won a cup? Who owns your city? Who owns your franchise? SIDNEY. I'm just kidding.
So
I like Carter.
So apparently during the World Juniors, Cutter Gauthier was really hard to reach. By
I don't think he was able to be reached at all. Yeah.
I mean, they were kind of busy.
well, you should.
Well, but
dude, it's
also,
an NHL
bro,
team.
It's your
He
NHL
was
team. What are
busy.
you talking about?
Dog, if Philadelphia, like as a Penguins fan, if I made it to the NHL, Philadelphia calls,
picking up on
I'm now
first
the
ring.
biggest Flyers fan.
Yeah.
Look, you have World Junior Championships finals. The last thing you want to do
I
is
don't-
get off the ice and spend time negotiating.
But
a
I don't
contract.
think
Like,
that's-
I get it.
But you also have an agent though.
But I also
for
don't.
that.
Yeah, so
I don't
talk
think
to
they're-
his agent.
Yeah.
I don't think they're calling in the finals.
No, but that's who they weren't
Like,
calling
so-
Cutter specifically. They were calling his agent.
They couldn't
And-
reach his
and-
agent,
And then
I
and then
think.
and then his agent was like, "Hey, where are we on Philly?" And he's like, "Nah."
And I don't think they're reaching out during the finals. They were gonna reach out during like the preliminary rounds at least.
I'm sorry, where does he usually play? Is he in the dub or something? Where does he usually before
He is at
college?
Like it was the OHL.
yeah, he's in Boston College, I think.
I also
okay.
I also found this
Nailed it,
funny.
Boston
I don't
College.
think this has anything to do with why he's not playing in Philly, but he grew up a massive Penguins fan, and I found this
That
quite.
definitely has nothing to do with it.
I
Yeah,
saw
he's
an
at
interview and it was
Boston.
like, I'm a massive Crosby fan. I was just like, no way. Like this, it just looks so much worse that he said that, but it's just so much funnier.
But
Did you
Alex, how about
guys-
that return for Cutter Gauthier?
Okay,
That is
so
true.
yeah, so let's talk about the return first.
Drysdale.
But did you guys see Tortorella's quote?
Oh
yeah, I did see that.
Elite.
Oh,
Could
What
tell
was
him
it,
between
Oh.
the
hole
that
in
we
the
don't
wall.
want you quote or what?
no,
No.
The I don't know Cutter from a hole. in the
Oh yeah, that's
I
brutal.
went to sleep last night so well after
That
hearing
is
that,
just
man.
like
I was
Oh,
thinking
it
about
was
that
so
because
nice.
I legit don't know one single hole in the wall. Not one.
I could not.
I was going. I was
maybe a window that's broken.
I was
or
reading some
something.
Instagram comments and just after the Penguins 4-1 win, it was what the top comment was. This wasn't the only L the Flyers took tonight, and I thought that was quite funny.
The Flyers took a dub on the
Oh,
Gauthier
100%.
trade.
Yeah,
Absolutely, took a
absolutely.
dub.
They, yeah.
I mean, for what?
Drysdale is
Like, it's
Drysdale
a
and a
trade of
pick.
potential.
Drysdale to Clydesdale.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
I don't know how you have a guy who doesn't want to play for you and you trade him away and you win. Like,
Yeah.
Like they got a good return.
It,
on
like that trade is basically it's a trade off potential, but then you also just you got? Was it a third or a second? You got
second.
Okay, so from
Like,
an
what?
article from an article on NHL about the trade, written by the NHL staff. No one's specifically credited. Flyers general manager Daniel Briere said Gauthier expressed an unwillingness to play for them as early as last May.
Wow.
But he was like so. But like I remember him being so. Like I was listening to Sportsnet this morning on the way here, and I remember hearing that. So what he did to meet Torts was he went up to him, shook his hand, was like looking forward to play with you, blah blah. And Torts was like, I'm like fired. He was fired up. He was so pumped. Like I'm ready for you. Like I'm ready to coach you and stuff. And then that happened. Then he just decides not to play. So like it didn't seem like there was any bad blood initially from what I like between the lines at least.
Maybe you just want to go to California.
Yeah, fair enough.
I want to go to
mean,
California. It's warm.
It is warm. It's warmer than it is today.
My biggest
It's
question
cold.
is who's going to be Trevor Zegers' best friend now? That's what I'm sad about.
Dixie
They're
Dixie.
besties.
Well, it
Dixie
was
D'Amelio.
gonna be Sean Chagall.
Mason, McTavish probably.
Yeah,
I
McDavid.
think McTavish should go to Blackhawks
Makes
for
me
no
sad.
specific reason at all.
Why?
No. Did you watch?
Just a hunch.
Did
Just a
you
hunch.
watch the World Juniors? McTavish, he should go to Chicago.
To
Oh.
be with Bedard? Yeah,
He's,
that's what we need. What the NHL needs right now is Chicago to be a powerhouse.
No,
that would
not
look
again.
so
Not
good
again.
right now.
Not again, please.
It would be great.
No, I am excited for
Great
Anaheim's
for
future.
publicity.
Oh,
But
my
without
goodness.
Drysdale, it's a little bit.
You know what? I
little-
was excited for
Minktikov.
Anaheim.
I like watching Minktikov.
I was excited for
good.
Anaheim's future, and then they traded away the rights to Sean Chagall.
So if I
now I don't care.
if
Now
I
I don't
may,
Okay.
I was curious because it was Drysdale and a second round pick in the 2025 draft for Cutter.
Yes.
Do you guys
Is he
know
worth that?
offhand? I think he is.
Okay.
Do you guys know offhand who is in the 2025 draft class?
Sorelli.
Not the 2025 one. I do not. I will be
I-
completely honest.
I know Sorelli. That's about it.
From your Calgary Hitmen,
Sean Chagall.
Benjamin Kindle.
Yes. 2025. That's in 2
2025.
years.
Yeah.
No,
That's
in
next year.
1 year.
That is next year, which is 2 years
Yeah.
technically.
So yes, I should have known that. Yes, Kindle.
Yeah.
He'll go for sure. I mean, we can take it back
There's-
to
there's-
that if you want.
There's not a huge amount of information on the draft probably because it's 2 years out. But I thought that was worth mentioning that there's a familiar name
Absolutely.
in the ranks.
He's
there.
gonna want to he's gonna want to play for Montreal though.
Grew up a Montreal fan.
Yeah, he's from Coquitlam. I guess we're bringing it back to Hitman for a little bit, but this is happier. Ben Kindle, he's from Coquitlam, BC. I got to
Okay.
meet him for the first time this weekend. It was really exciting. He's a quiet guy. He's really nice, but he's quiet unless the Habs are playing. I have never seen I was texting the group. I was like, "This kid is acting like he's got $1 million on the game right now," and the game went to shootout.
Oh, it's
and
the Rangers one? Rangers game?
Yeah.
The Rangers game, yeah. And we finished dinner, and we were like, oh, maybe we should go home. And I was like, no, I want to see how Ben reacts to shootouts.
What was his, I would have loved to see that reaction.
Oh,
to
it
the
was
Zibanejad
awesome.
Save.
So, yeah, that'd be cool. So 07s are eligible for 2025, I guess.
Yes.
Who
Oh,
else?
I
Okay.
hated hearing
He's
that.
from Coquitlam.
Dog, I'm
He's a
I'm
Habs fan.
04. This is weird for me.
Okay.
I'm the same. I'm the same age as Connor Geeky.
Yeah.
What am I doing with my? I'm
Since-
Connor Bedard is younger
Casey's
than me.
laughing.
Other than Connor McDavid.
Also, I wanted to point out, I thought
I'm
like
a
on
child in this group.
on Twitter there was like a graphic showing the trade from the Philadelphia Flyers, and it says the names like on the graphic, but Cutter's name was not on there. It literally, I
Yeah.
was like, am I
They
missing
only-
this?
yeah,
I
they
could only
included
see
the
the second round
pick
draft
and
pick for Jamie
Drysdale
Drysdale.
in the Philadelphia.
I'm like, what?
draft pick.
Cutter
Got him
got
for
cut.
Cutter
because
was
it's-
cut.
Yeah, they just mentioned that Carter Gauthier was part of it in the description or in the
Yeah,
caption, sorry.
yeah, but he
'Cause it-
wasn't on the graphic.
But he
like-
was signed. Like, it's not
Philadelphia
just
just
the
got a
rights
free
to
two
him
players.
that they traded away. It was his actual. Like, was Cutter signed?
I don't think you
I
signed
don't think
anything.
so.
Yeah, so that's why.
They wouldn't have traded him so easily either if it wasn't signed. It wouldn't have gone that well.
Yeah. So, but that's probably why.
And also, unfortunately, Jamie Drysdale is a little bit injury prone. I
Yeah.
don't think he's had a full season of him yet, I feel, but
Yeah, he had that
Drysdale,
brutal
Clydesdale.
shoulder tear
yeah.
last year.
And then
The-
even
the
this year, he
labrum?
was out for a few weeks already, too. So
Yeah,
Just-
he's not currently playing, is he?
I think he is now. He
Yeah,
just
he
came
is.
back, yeah.
Yeah, he played versus Detroit, got an assist. Played
Oh, nice.
versus Winnipeg.
Because, yeah, I think
Yeah.
him and Trevor both came back from injury on the same day.
Can I just
Oh,
make
okay.
a quick little just remark? How are
About
the Winnipeg Jets so good?
wait. I want to mention one thing before we move off of this.
Because I would love to get into that.
So
Yeah, I agree.
Just one last quote from the Cutter and Drysdale article on NHL. He had already changed. We were hoping that at some point he would change his mind, said Briere of Gauthier. He had already changed his mind. He looked at us at the draft and told us he was built to be a Flyer, wanted to be a Flyer, and then maybe a few months later told us that he didn't want to be a Flyer, didn't want to play for the Flyers.
Yeah, it literally just came out of the blue. It looked
Yeah.
like, yeah.
So I'm kind of curious as to
Sidney Crosby reached out.
Well, I'm kind of curious as to how that's going to fare for him later. Because if he can change his mind on a whim, I feel like if I'm a GM of name any other team, that's a bit of a question mark.
Yeah, no, I
What-
can.
what
we,
I-
don't, we don't know all the reasons.
Yeah,
for
what
it.
I
don't.
want to know is what makes a young player say something like that.
Yeah.
Which one, the
Like-
first half or the back half?
Like,
The bad things.
Yeah.
to
Like,
have
obviously-
the audacity.
Like, literally,
You made the NHL.
Arizona could
Yeah,
draft
maybe-
me and I'd be over the
Yeah,
moon.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe,
Like-
like,
Dog,
maybe
I'd go to San Jose in a heartbeat.
Yeah, dude.
Lose
but
3 games.
I
listen to the
can't
NHL.
imagine.
I'd play on an NHL team in front of 3,000 people, absolutely. So me in Arizona, I'd play with them.
Sounds
They have a
really
sick
bad.
jersey, too.
Sounds really bad when you say it out loud.
But it's true. Like there's got to be more to that, because
I think we'll find
especially as
some more
like think
information
about it,
based
you're a
on-
young kid, you've been working so hard, you get drafted, you're over the moon, and then
Drafted fifth, too,
something
by the way.
yeah, fifth,
Mm-hmm.
and something changes that you're like, actually, I do not want to
But
play for this team.
also,
Something had to change.
Maybe as a fifth, you feel like you can just get what you want because you are good enough to get what you want.
Not always.
Well,
We
I
shall-
mean, we
yeah,
are
but you could-
reinforcing the
but-
behavior right now.
Well,
He's
like,
never
look
gonna
at
do
the
that
whole
shit
atti-
behind,
look at the
but-
whole attitude thing. Why do you think Shane Wright went from 1 to 4? 4, right?
Oh,
That's
Or
what
is
I
that
mean.
the-
Just
that
because
was
Poor
funny.
attitude.
I got to see
just
Shane
because
Wright.
it's like a attitude thing doesn't mean bad attitudes don't exist.
No,
But
no,
I
no.
also know
Look at the
because
Flyers organization.
like my mind goes to like he doesn't want to play for Torts or whatever. But then I also know there was drama with Danny Briere's son, I
Carson.
think,
Yeah.
in the summer. So then I'm wondering if it has something to do with that, if they're like similar
But
ages and like
surely
I
he
don't
would have
know.
made a decision way earlier.
Yeah.
Not like because like
Nah.
no one like even as you as a Flyers fan, no one thought they were gonna do this good this season, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, like and I can see Torts being a problem, like being like that coach, but it's also like you would have made this decision before the season started. Why are you waiting till January?
Yeah.
Honestly, his presser too, like where he was talking about the trade, but he mostly wanted to talk about Jamie Drysdale. Like he doesn't seem like as mean as he used to be.
Yeah.
Like he seems like he's genuinely
There-
enjoys coaching now.
There was a
Because this team's doing good.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
there was an Instagram reel I came across where I think it was Scott Hartnell asking him a question, and when he saw Hartnell, he just lit up.
Yeah.
Like he's for some people he's such a teddy bear, and it was so fun to actually see because again there is that NHL perspective of, or that is that typical perspective of he's he's a tough guy.
If you form a relationship with him, like,
yeah, I'm sure he's the best guy.
Like
but-
apparently like Mike Sullivan, Penguins coach, and Torts they go way back.
oh yeah,
Like
there's that
they
all- there's that
they
over the
love
league.
playing against each other.
Like Barry Trotz
Yeah.
and John Cooper were the same thing. They were just intertwined through years. Phil, what's up?
Speaking of teddy bears,
Hershey Bears?
Hershey Bears, there's a new record. They broke the record this weekend again. For the teddy bear toss. I guess I should probably say that. The Hershey Bears. I actually don't know what are they AHL?
Yeah, they're the
Washington
Yeah, they're the
Capitals?
Caps.
They're the Capitals.
AHL.
Sweet. So they held the record before as well of 67,309 teddy bears thrown on the ice.
which they shattered.
They shattered it. 74,599
Holy
on
man.
their teddy bear toss. Obviously, the Hershey bear toss is the biggest teddy bear toss in hockey.
You know what?
I'm looking at this video right now. One brought in like a 7-foot tall, massive teddy bear and managed to get it over the bars.
I love that.
Oh,
You know what bugs me a bit about the number? They were one
One
short.
off.
They were one short of a nice number to look at.
Exactly. I agree.
74,599.
yeah, man, they had to wait so long too. It was 6
Oh,
minutes into.
Oh, I'm sure it was
the-
like go grab your food. It's like a second intermission.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, because when I saw that article, I was like, I'm pretty sure Hershey always has like amazing teddy bear
Yeah,
tosses.
they do.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the video now, like just an unbelievable. Like I thought the Hitman teddy bear toss was sweet. This is like more than triple that many teddy bears. That is so crazy. Granted, I mean, I guess we sold out the Saddle Dome.
Can you imagine you just get shut out in
Can
the
you
teddy
ma-
bear game?
all these.
Like, I would feel so bad. It's like
The opposing teams never let that happen.
No,
pull,
they'll-
you're up
they'll
five,
let you
if you're
score.
up 5-0, just pull the goalie.
unless it's like a 1-0 game.
Yeah.
In which case you just throw it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I feel bad for these people who are sitting at the front.
Yeah.
Because they're just drowning.
Yeah.
From all the teddy bears that didn't
There's
make
a goal. Kids, hold your stuff. Do not let go.
we should probably get into the music intermission here as we are 51 minutes deep into our first hour and a half show here.
Holy.
Could we do the Jets segment after?
Yes, we'll do Jets, Nylander, McDavid, and Copley for the back half of the show here.
it. Nice.
Perfect.
Play that
yeah,
funky music.
I
Yeah.
heard something way different.
Yeah, definitely.
I was about to panic. And we are back for the back half of Coast to Coast here.
That song was a little shorter than we thought.
I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
a
We were
rocker
here-
nonetheless.
We were perfect right on time.
That's going to be fun camera footage to watch.
I think you got to keep that in.
Yeah, you do
Oh,
have to
I'm
keep
gonna.
that in.
Uh,
Just the
And on the back half here, we're going to talk about McDavid a bit. Copley's out for the season from the Kings, and Nylander signs a massive extension. But first, Merrick wanted to talk about the Winnipeg Jets. Merrick, go ahead.
This team is insane. Like I don't I don't understand. Like one, your highest paid forward. I'm sorry to say this to all of us because we all overpay for a lot of players.
We do.
Their highest paid forward, Kyle Connor, was $7 million,
He's on
and
the
he's
IR.
been hurt for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They aren't like they're not like in first by like they have the same games as Boston and they are a point ahead.
yeah.
Like they are legitimate the first. They're like it's insane to see the top 5 teams and 2 of them are Canadians and it's not one of them are the Leafs
Top
or
3.
Edmonton.
Yeah, it's
Top 3 teams.
Oh, exactly. But none of them like when you at the
Top
beginning of the
3
season,
teams.
did you think to yourself and be like, yes, the top 2 teams are going to be Vancouver and Winnipeg? Because I guarantee you, everyone thought it was going to be Toronto and
Edmonton.
Yeah, I
and like
honestly
Toronto's.
thought Winnipeg was blowing up their team.
I
It's
thought they were
so
too.
Yeah.
Because
wild.
Hellebuck, I thought because Hellebuck wanted to leave, but then they re-signed 2 people at the exact same time.
Yeah,
It was
Shifley
Scheifele
and
for
Oh, yeah.
the exact contract. That team is playing very well with a goal differential of plus 38. The best in the league is Vancouver, I believe, with plus 50.
Yeah.
Not far behind is the Kings plus 31, and then just looking down, like
But the goal differential doesn't really matter.
Unless
you
unless
said,
you're the Sharks and you're negative
well,
84.
Edmonton's,
Well, yeah, but the
Edmonton's
Sharks are at the
20th in the
bottom
league
of the
with
league.
plus 18. Pittsburgh 17 with plus 15.
yeah, exactly.
Goal-
Capitals
it doesn't
are
matter.
Capitals are ahead of ahead of Pittsburgh. They have the same amount of points
Like you
with a
just said-
minus
you-
23.
You said LA has the second best third best differential, but they're in 11th. Like
I also
True.
find there's just so many more goals scored than in the NHL ever.
Yeah.
Nowadays than there ever
100%.
was.
like I think we see way more.
Well, we've had 2 10-goal games this year.
Yeah.
Like for one team.
Not
For
a
one
good
team.
pitch.
And
Yeah.
within 2 nights, by the way.
Yeah.
Like-
And then there's been lots of like 7 and 8.
Yeah,
goal
like
games as well.
I've made this joke before, but I was watching the Penguins and Islanders game. So and I hate watching Islanders hockey. Like
It is NyQuil on ice.
oh my gosh! And I literally
NyQuil
I
on
texted my
ice.
buddy after the first, it's 0-0, and I go, I don't want to watch this game because I can't. It actually hurts. And then like Pittsburgh, I don't know, they must have heard me and decided Letang just decided, here, I'll get you 6 assists.
Yeah.
In a 7-0 win. I was like,
Which was the record?
yeah, which was the record. And quietly, Marcus Pettersson at 4 assists too. And they were pairing. So together, they had 10 points on one defensive pairing.
That's insane.
And Crosby and Carlson did not do anything that game. But
Dude.
I can't get over how good this Jets team is.
Mhm.
Especially, they're on a 6-game win streak. Only team that's have a win streak similar to that right now, ironically, is Florida, who's 6th. But, like, Brossoit, it's kind of poetic justice. He beat his old team, won the cup, and was like, yeah, I'll come back and help.
Yeah.
Hellebuck's actually got some relief, so he's actually able to play better. Their defense, Morissette and Pionk have been amazing.
I love Pionk.
Ehlers stepped up. Scheifele stepped up.
Nemesnikov.
Exactly.
He's
and
been huge.
who would have thought Pierre-Luc Dubois for Alex Iafallo
Iafallo.
and Velarde
Mhm.
would be better for the Jets than it would be. It reminded me exactly of the Calgary
Okay.
trade.
I don't like that.
Like what?
I don't like calling it that. It was so much better for the Jets. Well, I mean, in fairness, the Dubois went to a Kings team that was already stupid deep on center.
True, but again, like you got to think when you get these 2 players who are going to be put into this lineup. Like Velarde went out and then got 7 points in the first few games. Like he's
got
and
17 points in 21
Alafalo's
games.
been and they're both like Alafalo's a 3rd liner and he's posted almost more points than Dubois.
Yeah, they've been trying to shake it up. To
But
get him
again, like
producing a little bit
it's
more,
different.
too.
It's different play styles. I understand what you're saying. I
True.
just wouldn't
understand.
say that.
I understand your point, but like at the same time, no one in their right mind said the Winnipeg Jets would be number 1 in the league and 3rd would be the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah,
Where-
especially just after the tone of like having to trade away Dubois and then not like at the beginning of the season when they didn't have the contracts
Yeah,
for the
and
other
everyone
2.
and also everyone like you said earlier was that everyone thought Winnipeg's about to blow up. Hellebuck wanted to leave. Scheifele wanted gone. Ehlers was gone. Kyle Connor was going to be traded away for draft picks. They were about to start a rebuild. They were on the verge of a rebuild, and then they were like, "Yeah, no, let's just play like the best hockey."
Yeah.
And Cole Perfetti, he's doing pretty well.
Exactly.
I think, too.
Yeah.
Like,
their young guys are playing insane.
Mhm.
Their defense is playing very well.
Yeah.
And they're like pretty stacked too. Like I mean, or that's not the word I was trying to say, but like they're tight. You have Scheifele who's got 40 points in 39 games. Obviously he leads the team, and then looking at the next 5.
Ehlers coming back this year has been huge
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
because he was kind of hurt on and off
I picked
like
him up
all
in
last year. And
I
then-
dropped Fantilli and I picked him up in fantasy.
Yeah. But then like the next 3 have virtually the same amount of points.
Mhm.
Kyle Connor
They
especially.
remind me a lot of Vegas. Like Vegas,
Yeah.
like last
Yeah.
year, they did not have like the Connor McDavid up there with points. It's just they are
Everyone
a
has
team.
it.
They are
Everyone's
evenly
involved.
spread, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
which
like
is like
these-
which goes both ways. It can work and it can't. Like
Yeah.
because sometimes you
Because
like,
Seattle's like that too.
Yeah.
And
Seattle was like that
but
when
sometimes
they
you
busted
need
in the
like
playoffs.
sometimes you need that player to go here. I'll like at least like Drysdale in the playoffs last year. I'll put up 14. I'll practically put McDavid on my back, and carry us into the second round. Second round, right? They made it second. Yeah.
Come May, fill in the blank. The Jets make it to blank in the playoffs.
Oh. I
I gotta look at the current playoff picture.
I'm gonna go third
Yeah.
round. I think they'll go deep because they are proving they can do it without Kyle Connor at
I
this
wish
point.
we could
so.
see like a bracket. I wish the NHL website was better.
Yeah.
Like,
So in this case, their first round matchup would be against Edmonton.
And we know
Oh.
how Winnipeg treats Edmonton in the
Oh.
playoffs. They're
if
not
they
nice.
if they were to win as well, they'd play the Kings or the Golden. I would agree
No,
with
no,
you.
no, no. They would play one of the Avalanche or the Stars.
yeah, I don't think they can get past the Stars. Well, I don't know. I just distinctly remember, I think this was back in November, Dallas was playing Winnipeg, and Dallas's power play had been sucking. until they played Winnipeg, and then they just like
Slump buster.
got like 3 power play goals. Like
I know the feel.
Yeah, we know the feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, slumps. Speaking of slumps, your Flyers penalty kill is second in the league. Who
I
won?
haven't even said anything about the Penguins.
No, but that's a compliment. That's a compliment.
That was a compliment. That was a compliment.
You're second in the
Sorry.
league.
Every time I hear say, "Oh well, the Flyers," I'm expecting to hear
You're second.
something
When
rude.
we scored 1 goal in the power play out of 7 attempts, I was just surprised we scored once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I think this season just is a season of shocks. Like obviously you're gonna have your obvious, like Toronto's the obvious ones that are gonna be good. Boston's not gonna be as good as last year, but they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Rangers are gonna be good. Like, but then you like when you're gonna be like the Jets are gonna be a good team. Vancouver's gonna be a good team. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot and like.
the Vancouver.
When
is
did you
nuts.
think Brock Besser was going to be battling Matthews for the like scoring race?
so good.
That's so
like,
wild.
Hell,
Honestly, the flag
love
cap,
it.
the
Script
flag
writers this
cap has
season are-
made it way more interesting when it comes to competition because they have so many people in and out of the lineups with their entry-level contracts and like they're banking on rookie goalies.
Yeah.
It's made it really crazy to try and make
Oh,
predictions.
100%.
So we do have to move on because we do have a couple things to talk about before 9:25 hits, and then we're going to play some music to end off the show.
And we're gonna sprint to our class.
Jets are going where in the playoffs? Quick.
Third.
Phil Tremblay?
Second round.
Okay. Casey Freeman? There's
That
Phil
was
Tremblay?
Casey Freeman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with Casey. I say second round.
Landon Brown?
I'm gonna go third round. I think they can do it.
I am also going to say the second round.
It's so tough though, because again, we don't have the brackets. We don't
Yeah,
know who's
like
gonna be
nothing-
playing
and
who.
Nothing is
And-
locked in at
And
all.
tomorrow it could just be like, oh, and it's all switched.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you never know. They could be playing Vegas in the first round, in
Yeah.
which case that would be a crazy matchup.
I have never
Right?
said this before in my life, but I have a little bit of like love in my heart for Winnipeg.
I
A
had
little
A
bit.
place I
a
deny its
touch.
existence, but I will say that their
I've
team,
had the best Indian food I've ever had in Winnipeg.
My dad's a Winnipeg Jets fan, so I always hear it.
I applied to be the Winnipeg Jets like in-game host like
Oh,
a
really?
few years ago
Oh, that's
before I
cool.
could even edit video or anything. And they replied like immediately and were like, "Are you in Winnipeg?" And I should have just said yes, but I was like, I can get there.
I'm booking the
and,
plane ticket as we speak.
Yeah.
and then
I-
they were just like, "Oh, we decided to go with someone local," but they sent me like a whole bunch of Winnipeg swag.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
Obviously, I was pretty
Oh, that's
convincing in
cool.
my.
Yeah.
That's
my
awesome.
tape.
Man, on the topic of in-game hosts, the Calgary Hitmen have a new one for this season, and he's awful. I do not like him, and I'm really bummed that
I
no
applied
one
for that
told
job.
me.
Did
Like, I
they-
didn't see that they were hiring for it, and I was like, "Are you kidding
Oh my
me?"
God.
On the topic of awful news, Phoenix
Where did you get that?
Phoenix Copley's season-ending injury.
Oh, thank God we're moving off. Okay.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
Alex.
'cause
I
we have,
got
to be,
you.
we have to be pretty quick.
I got you. Alex.
Yeah, so Copley's done for the season for the Kings.
Did you see what he posted on his Instagram?
I did not.
He posted just a shipwreck.
What happened to him?
Torn ACL.
Ooh,
Owie.
that hurts.
But yeah, he just posted
Well,
a.
not torn ACL, but ACL surgery. He got
Yeah.
the injury on the 15th.
He posted
he's
the
from the
ship.
North
He posted the
Pole.
shipwreck and he just said,
Yeah, North Pole, Alaska.
North Pole, Alaska. I love
So who
that.
are
There's
the-
actually
who are
quite
the
a few
King-
players from
Who are
Alaska.
the Kings
sorry.
goalies now?
Talbot and
Oh, well, there you go. You don't need anyone else, apparently.
Yes, you do.
Talbot and big save it, David.
Oh yeah, Dave.
Talbot
Dave
and
Riddick.
Riddick. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I was literally just gonna ask you guys if he's still around.
They just can't separate those two guys, eh? They're just good. They're basically married, I
We're
think.
destined to do this forever.
Yeah,
They're just
Talbot
like-
and Dave.
I-
They're the ex couples of the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames.
yeah.
I think I've seen you before. No, really.
Yeah, I guess they're pretty safe because the only way they move out of third in the Pacific is if Edmonton catches them, but they're 5 points back
And
and,
that
they play
team
the
is the-
same number of games.
And that team is the greatest this season on the road. They're 13-1,
Mhm.
I believe.
Yeah,
On the
13-3
road,
and
the
1.
Kings?
The Kings, they have
Yeah,
they have lost
13-3-1.
one game. I believe the one game might have been in overtime, but I might be
They're
incorrect.
they're 13-3 and 1.
Oh, 3-1, sorry. But like they went, I think it was like 12-0 on the road, like start of the season. Like they
Which
did
is
not
nuts.
lose.
Yeah, if I'm a Kings fan, I'm not overly worried
Me
No,
neither.
I wouldn't say
because
so.
No,
because they have two of the best defensive centers in the game.
And you know who the Kings have the rights
Who's
to?
the second one?
Uh,
Kopitar
Sean
and
Shigel.
No, defensive.
yeah, defensive centerman.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kopitar and
I wouldn't say Kopitar's defensive. He's more offensive. I was gonna say PLD and Deneau.
I see. And they,
Philippe Deneau.
and they also have Fiala. Kempe's been insane, and then Kopitar's
Man, they're
Kopitar's found some love.
They have a little bit of underrated scoring power with Fiala
I
and
agree.
Kempe as well.
He had 2 goals last game.
He did.
Help me win in fantasy. Thing for
Anything-
And
Nylander?
Brant Clark is back on their roster as well.
Yeah.
Which is, they called him up from the AHL.
Anything else you want to touch on for the Kings before we move on real quick?
We can go to the Kings' best friends, the Edmonton Oilers.
McDavid gets his 900th point.
That's a
Is
lot of
something I wanted to
points.
touch on. Reached milestone in his 602nd
I enjoy
game.
having the Oilers be bad because there was there was McDavid and then there's Bedard, but then we slowly talked about like other people. Like I know Crosby was mentioned because he's old, but like I got to hear Brock Besser for once. I got to hear new names instead of Connor.
JT Miller.
I didn't have to
Yeah.
hear Connor Bedard or Connor McDavid shoved down my throat. every 5
That's just
seconds.
kind of what's happening this season, though, and we
True.
love it. Like that's what hockey's about. That's what
Like
we
I
want.
want to hear about Fleury. I want to hear about. I know I'm a Penguins fan, but like, I want to know about Crosby like breaking records because he's old. I want to hear about. I want Brock Besser to win the scoring title. I think that would be
Yes.
so.
I think that'd
funny.
be so good.
Because Vancouver, the past 3 seasons, have been in talks with Pittsburgh to trade Besser 3 separate times, and we almost made a trade last year for him. It was going to be Jason Zucker, 3 first-rounders. Don't ask me why. Hextall was on
Probably some salary stuff.
Hextall was on some many Percocets, and
What?
I'm not a Hextall fan, but like, and they said no, and obviously they saw. I don't think anyone expected Brock Besser to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna score. I'm gonna be the next Matthews this season.
And we
So,
love it.
I
We love
agree.
it. Could this be the again? We're looking at the standings here.
Okay.
We have 2 Canadian teams at the top of the league,
We do.
Winnipeg
Yeah.
and Vancouver.
It's unfortunate they're both in the West.
It is unfortunate they're
Yeah.
both in the West.
Well, in the current playoff bracket, it goes Canucks, Oilers, and then Jets, Predators. So
Ah,
you're right now, as of this moment, you're guaranteed a Canadian in the second round. Problem is, you're also guaranteed to lose one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Canucks. It'd be
There's only one in the East with the Leafs.
it'd be Canucks Preds.
Yeah. Well, again, this is based off of very loose brackets that
Yeah.
are found.
As of
I-
now, it'd be
I-
Canucks Preds.
yeah,
I
we're
wish
gone.
the NHL website would do that
would
for
just
you.
have,
Yeah.
a,
It's
just
like
have a
the-
running
It's
bracket.
the easiest thing to program.
They
Is
post a
this-
few of them on Instagram every once in a while. I
Is
see.
this the year?
That
No.
Yeah.
Canadian
It has to
team
be.
makes it happen.
I don't think so. I hate to say
Makes-
I don't
like-
think
like
so.
because
Yeah,
the
Toronto,
Outside of the
yeah.
top
Everything.
2, we still
No.
have
No?
other really
No.
good Canadian teams. Like the Oilers aren't in that
Yeah.
No,
conversation, but they could make it.
I think they could. I think we could have a Canadian team in the final again. I don't think they're going to win the cup though.
Toronto
No.
Dallas final. I'm calling it now.
That would be nuts.
That would be
That'd be
nuts.
really fun. The Robertsons.
I would
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, the Robertson battle.
I would love that actually. That would be super
I,
sweet.
I just can't see Leafs.
I think Toronto wins that.
Did Toronto get swept in the second round last year?
No,
A
they won
gentleman's
it.
Yes, they
sweep,
did.
I think.
Yeah, so they
No, they did not.
They won a game.
They beat one game.
They won game, yeah.
Yeah,
Gentleman's
they
sweep.
did.
Oh, that
they-
formed my hate for Gudas. Because
Yeah,
he yelled that wall, and I was like,
Nick-
that was so unnecessary.
Nick Cousins scored in overtime.
Yeah, oh,
but
right.
I love Nick Cousins, but
Yeah, that series formed my hatred for Gudas because
Yeah.
he screamed at Wall, who saved like 40-something shots, kept them in the series.
yeah,
And then just randomly, he's like, dude, he's a kid. Like,
yeah, he's a child.
Yeah, you're a man
I-
screaming at a kid.
I
Yeah.
yell at kids all of the time.
Yeah. When
but I
do
also
you
teach
not?
swimming
too.
lessons, so this is just part of the job.
It's a different context, Landon.
I don't yell at them meanly.
Just touching back on the McDavid stuff before we get to the bigger news with Nylander's new contract. McDavid got 900 points in 602 games, putting himself in the lead company behind 4 Hockey Hall of Famers. Wayne Gretzky did in 385. Got 900 points in 385 games. Followed by Mario Lemieux, who did in 463 games. Mike Bossy in 582, and Peter Stastny in
Oh my
599.
I still think Connor McDavid will be a Hall of Famer. I just think a lot of people will overlook him if he does not win a cup. That is just my opinion.
Overlook him for the Hall.
Just overlook him as a player. Be like,
I
yes,
don't
he's
think
an amazing
anyone's
player.
overlooking him.
No,
Who?
but like
McDavid?
He
people were
is-
doing it to Ovi before he won the cup.
He is where that
Kind of.
conversation would start if he ever does not win a cup of the best players to
Never
ever
win a
play to
cup,
win
yeah.
a cup. He's
Oh,
at
yeah.
top of the list.
Yeah.
And then it goes
'Cause you
probably
saw-
Iggy, Dion's on that list as
Yeah.
well.
Matt Sundin.
Iggy should have won a
Patrick
cup.
Marlowe and Joe Thornton.
Yeah.
Any
you-
any number
You
of the
saw
Sharks
how
when they were
you saw
a
how
wagon.
important that cup win to Ovechkin was. Like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
he was
remember
ripping it out of Bettman's hands.
He had conversations I read on interviews that he would talk to Hall of Famers and be like, I don't know, like I feel like I need to win. And as a Penguins fan, when they beat us, well, we came off 2 cups, so I was like, it's okay. But I was just like, when they beat us in the Game 7, I was like, go win it. please.
Yeah.
Go.
I really want you to win it now.
Against Vegas.
Because we won 2 years. We went back to back, and then they won.
San Jose and
So
Nashville.
we were just like, I was just like, please, just win it for him.
And they did.
It's a weird to think that San Jose was in a cup final
Yeah.
within
I can't
the
even
last
like
10 years.
wrap my head around
Yeah,
that.
because now they're terrible.
The
No,
Nashville.
they've been really good for like 20 years. My whole
Except
entire
for this year.
childhood growing up,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were like a top
Yeah,
tier.
they had
Yeah.
Heatley, Thornton, Marlowe,
Carlson at some point.
Nabokov,
Yeah, Nabokov
Carlson,
and-
Burns,
Pavelski.
Pavelski. just suddenly Pavelski.
I love it.
No, they were a powerhouse for
and
sure.
for our last topic of the
Oh, and
day,
Burns.
before we
I don't know if you
play
said
a
that.
music, before we play a song and get out of here to our next class. I can't talk. This is the first time we've had a show this early. I can't do it.
Good
William Nylander is going to remain a Toronto Maple Leaf after signing an 8-year contract worth $92 million.
The Prince of
Calgary.
Toronto is back.
The Prince
Doesn't he
of
have the most points
Toronto.
for the Leafs this season?
No.
I
Does
think
he
he does
bear-
in points, not goals though.
Yeah.
He's got 54 points in 37 games. That's crazy.
That's a lot of. Oh, they have
He's been
zero.
fun to watch.
They have
And
zero
where was
cap
he
space.
born, Landon?
What was that?
Where was he born?
When?
Where?
Where? Oh,
Calgary. He was born here.
Calgary
He was born in
kid,
Calgary.
William Nylander. Love
It
to
is-
see
it
it.
is
But,
also
like, don't
insane.
tell him he's a Calgary kid because he will yell at you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's
Oh, yeah,
also
he does not
insane.
recognize that he's from Calgary.
It's also insane that if you
I
look,
wouldn't either.
if you look at next season, Matthews 13 million, Tavares 11 mil, Marner 10, Nylander 11, Morgan Riley 7, and they have yet to sign TJ Brody.
I feel
I get that,
pretty,
it's not
they'll
a-
have to wait for the cap in the summer.
Yeah,
to go up.
that massive cap extension is going to help a lot of teams. And I read this somewhere that maybe Mikko Rantanen is going to want, because it says he's not up for UFA, but he's up for an extension. And Mikko Rantanen is almost identical to a Nylander kind of situation. With there's McKinnon, there's Landeskog when he's healthy, obviously. But you think
Rarely.
And Makar.
and Makar, you think McKinnon or you think Rantanen's going to want some money? He's going to want a good
Absolutely.
payday.
if Tavares lands a solid pay when his contract is up at the end of the 24-25 season.
25-26 is when it ends.
I think Marner's is the next one.
No, it ends at
Mar-
it ends in 24-25. Then it's a UFA going
Oh,
in 25-26.
yes. And but problem is Marner and Tavares ended the exact same time.
Yep.
Which is a
Oh.
very
if
bad thing.
depending on the size of those deals, I feel pretty comfortable in saying that the Leafs aren't going to win a cup in the 2020s.
The Leafs will never win a cup ever again.
I agree.
Oh.
The Leafs have also never won. The Leafs have never won 4 rounds,
They have not.
which is when I learned about that, I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever.
Oh,
heard.
yeah. It
They've
made me laugh, too.
They've
And, like-
never won 4 rounds in their entire existence because they only won. What was it, 3? That
Yeah, because in '67 it was still
it was only 3 rounds. Yeah.
And like, I'm not a superstitious guy. Toronto's a good hockey team.
Yes.
They have potential to be a great hockey team. They've got a huge market. They've got tons of money. They're never going to win a Stanley Cup, and it's just because they're cursed. And I'm not superstitious at
Hey,
all.
I'm just
That's
saying.
the only thing I'm buying into.
Chicago
is-
Cubs were cursed, and then 2016 rolled around.
and that was like 110 years
Yeah.
of baseball.
The
That-
Boston Red Sox too.
That was Yep. That
I,
one was insane.
I don't want to say the Leafs aren't going to win a cup ever
They're never going to win.
because
I mean-
because I feel like they're going to at some point before I die.
Canadian sports, Toronto Raptors, they
I
got
didn't know
Chris
you were
Paul.
invincible, Alex. That's sweet.
I'm immortal.
Dude, he's never
no,
going to die.
I don't think they're going to win a cup in the 2020s, and I'd be willing to go as far as 2030s either.
20.
Okay.
What year did they win the cup?
1967.
67.
They're going to win a cup in 2067.
Same year.
It's going to be
Sergeant
100
100
years.
There is like some sort of like weird story that involves some sort of wilderness plane crash around their 1967 one too. It was
yeah,
like some
'cause
weird curse.
The
or something
Tragically
from
Hip
that
wrote
guy.
a song about it. Didn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Well, that's how the,
I don't know the
Boston.
story,
That's how
but-
the Boston the Cubs. They burned their. They burned their contract when they won the first time, and then some woman put a curse on them, and then there was that
Nice.
there was that fan that caught a ball that was fair, which then eliminated Chicago, and he was not in a good spot after that.
That guy had to leave Chicago.
He
had to
I
like
think-
I don't know
change
if
his
that's
I
name
true.
think
and
he went into
everything.
witness protection.
Yeah, he had to
Probably,
change
yeah.
his name.
So it was.
But I thought that was White Sox, not the Cubs. But I'm not.
It might
too
be the
sure.
White Sox.
But
the Cubs was the one that caught it. I know that for sure.
okay.
That guy was the Cubs. I think there was a GOAT moment too with the Cubs. I don't remember. I just remember reading it somewhere because it was a really big deal in 2016 because obviously it was the longest drought in sports history.
I think Toronto
Yeah, 'cause
has
White
a good
Sox-
chance going into the playoffs this
Yeah.
year. They have, I think, before the trade deadline, this is like the best team they've rostered in a lot of
And
years.
they have a young talent in Matthew Nyes.
And I agree. Again, I agree.
I
They've
also-
got a great team.
Like
They're
going-
not going to win.
Guys,
Yeah.
in case you wants to say something.
Sorry, I just realized I'm going to see the Leafs in
When they come to
11 days in Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go see
Okay.
them.
That's
That'll be-
exciting.
that'll be
I'm
a
making a
great
sign
game.
for Matthew Nyes. I don't know what it's going to say yet, but
town. Nice to see
sorry.
you.
I
That just
only
made me
have
so excited
Nyes
when you
for
mentioned
you.
When Pittsburgh played,
That's a
I
good
saw
one.
Matthew Nyes tried fighting John Ludwig. And I was just like, what is happening? You are a scorer. You are not. Well, he didn't last very long in the fight. I'm like, you are not a fighter.
he is a
Stop.
big boy, though.
Sometimes you have to
Yeah, but
learn
so
you're
was-
not a fighter, though.
True. Well,
Yeah,
he went up
it's
against a
true.
guy who's 6'3", 200 pounds, a third line, 24-year-old defenseman. Who's
But he was bothering him. He had to do it.
dude. He was ready to hit somebody.
Mess around and find out.
Yes.
Censored myself.
Yeah, I was about to say, but in a different way.
In a different way. Yeah, again, like, great team, great hockey city, never going to win a cup.
I don't know if they maybe get goaltending, but also like that's so hard to come by. I find
It
nowadays.
is. I mean, there's
so-
like 30 teams in the NHL that need better goaltending.
Yes,
so
Yeah.
and there's only two other teams.
The flat cap and the expansion really thinned out the goalie herd.
It did.
Yeah.
I'll go play.
Can someone explain something to me?
Yep.
Maybe.
The
Depends what
Flames,
it is.
the Flames assigned Pelletier to the Wranglers. What difference does that make?
Probably just conditioning.
But
You
he's
get some
done for the
flavor.
season with his shoulder surgery. He's not even playing.
Oh, he's
Oh.
still out? Oh, it'd be like,
Probably
it'd just be for money, I
monetary.
guess.
Yeah, they just needed to pay
Well-
someone to write a news post. Honestly, probably like
I just know my favorite AHL team is San Diego, and my
Go
favorite
the Gulls.
my favorite player was up with Anaheim in the preseason. Then he got injured, and like it said he was out like 6 to 8 weeks. But then there was no news on him, and then before he came back, Anaheim had to like release him back to San Diego. So I'm also like, does it depend on the injury and where he's getting treated and everything? Like,
maybe.
I will also just forever find it funny how Jack Campbell is the second string in an AHL.
put him in the All Star game. Put him in the
work-
All Star game.
He's
He
working on
deserves it.
something.
Well, if you want a super high scoring All Star game.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
But yeah,
put
they
Igor in
probably
it, too.
because obviously when he comes back from injury, back on the Pelletier thing, he comes back from injury. They're probably not putting him right back onto
Yeah.
the Flames roster. Like
Yeah.
so, they probably will give him a couple games of AHL play, and then he'll be back up with the Flames.
So also,
Yeah.
that's what also hurt me is when it happened with Ben Bishop. They put him down for a reassignment. And he just
Yeah, it just never came back up.
that one hurt. That one hurt me. That one hurt me in like a childhood wonder type.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited that Shillington's back.
Yes,
Yeah,
That-
that's
absolutely.
another one.
I
That's
love
just
Shillington.
back. Really happy to see him.
That's a big one.
You love to see the guys go to the minors just to get it back. And
We do have to get out of here though.
It's last time.
Yeah, it is last time in 5 minutes here, so I'll play you guys a song just so it's not completely dead air.
Thank you.
We will see you guys next week. Welcome to the show, Casey and Merrick,
Thank
full
you.
time. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week, bright and early at 8 a.m. because this is awesome.
I love it.